The pain was immediate and unbearable as she collapsed to the ground, crying out for help. Hours passed as she lay there helpless, hoping someone would find her. Eventually, a group of kind-hearted hunters came across her while returning from their expedition. Seeing her condition, they quickly carried her to the nearest hospital. The doctors worked tirelessly to save her, but the venom had spread too far. After consulting with the medical team, they informed her that the only way to save her life was to amputate the leg the snake bit. When she woke up after the surgery, her leg was gone. She felt broken and weak, no longer the strong, controlling woman she once was. When she returned home, she depended on her daughters to care for her. They pitied her condition but found it hard to forget the harm she had caused, both to Junior and to them, with her lies and cruelty. Mami Jata was now humbled, left to face the consequences of her actions and the reality of a life forever changed. Now in a wheelchair, her life had changed. She sat in her dim room, staring at where her leg used to be. She began to believe the snake bite was not an accident but a punishment for her past mistakes. Villagers whispered that it was karma, and some believed spirits of those she hurt were coming for her. Fear consumed her the more as these rumors went on. As the weeks turned into months, her mind began to fall apart. She stopped eating and kept talking to herself, saying the spirits were coming to take her soul. Her daughters, feeling helpless, could only watch as their mother slowly lost her sanity. Back in the city, Mr. Kumi and Junior decided to meet Mr. Gombi with proof of the forged documents to confront Mami Jata, as the moment of truth had arrived. So, they planned a return to the town of Pluti. For Junior, the journey was emotional as he remembered the years of suffering, but at the same time felt grateful for how far life had brought him. They arrived early in the morning and went straight to the house. Mami Jata sat in her grand living room with the air filled with the smell of medicine. She heard the front door creak open and footsteps approaching. She strained her ears as measured footsteps approached. She heard a knock at the door and called her daughter to open, and to their surprise, Junior, the child she had wronged, stood and gazed at her. Now an adult. Her voice cracked, barely above a whisper. "You are here." Junior stood at the doorway, his heart pounding as he looked at Aunt Mami Jata. The woman who had once been his aunt, the one who had caused him so much pain, was now a shadow of her former self. Her once proud posture had given way to weakness. Overwhelmed with guilt, she burst out in tears, pleading for mercy. She wept bitterly and uncontrollably as she confessed the dark secret she's carried for decades. "Yes, I'm responsible for the death of your parents, Junior. I was overcome with greed, jealousy, and fear, which led me to act so wickedly." The whole room was quiet and everyone was shocked. Mr. Kumi stepped forward, holding the documents in his hands. "Mami Jata," he said, his voice calm but firm, "we have the truth now. The evidence of the lies, the betrayal, and the property you stole from Junior." Her face turned pale as she heard the words. Surprised how they got hold of the documents, she trembled as if the weight of everything she had done was finally catching up with her. "I thought I could get away with it. But I see now. I see how wrong I was." Junior stood still, not knowing how to feel. Years of pain and betrayal flooded his mind.
"I wanted everything, but I never realized what it would cost me."
But seeing her auntie truly regret what she had done made something inside him soften. He had longed for justice, but now he saw a woman who was paying for her sins in ways words could never describe. "The law will take its course, Mami Jata. You'll face the consequences for your actions," said Mr. Kumi. She nodded slowly, accepting her fate. She had taken too much, hurt too many people, and now she would have to face what she had done.
I don't expect forgiveness. But if you can, Junior, please know I am truly sorry. I will live with this guilt for the rest of my life.
Junior looked at her for a long moment. The pain and anger were still there, but he realized that forgiveness wasn't for her, but it was for him.
I forgive you. I forgive you, Aunt Jata. But you must face the consequence of what you've done.
She simply nodded, accepting the truth. With that, they left the house. The heavy burden of the past now being taken to where it truly belonged. The road ahead would still be hard, but Junior had found something he didn't expect. Peace. Mommy Jata had become thin and looked miserable, unable to sleep all night as she was being constantly haunted by her own thoughts and guilt. One night, as she lay in bed, a heavy feeling filled the room. Suddenly, a sharp pain spread through her chest. Her breathing became fast and shallow. She tried to call for help, but her voice was too weak. Trembling and sweating, she gripped the blanket tightly, struggling to hold on to life. Her vision became blurry, and everything around her started to fade into darkness. She could almost see the parents of the boy she had mistreated, staring at her with silent judgment. The clock struck midnight. A single tear rolled down her cheek as her body gave up. Her hands fell still, the pain stopped, and her breathing came to an end. The room was silent once again, except for the soft ticking of the clock, marking the end of her life. When her daughters entered the room the next morning, they found her lifeless body. Though she had wronged many, her passing was still a sorrowful moment for them. It wasn't easy for them to accept, but deep in their hearts, they understood that the soul that sins shall surely die. News of her death spread through Pluty. Some called it the end of a greedy life, while others prayed for her soul. Junior heard about his aunt's passing. She had hurt him deeply, but he felt no joy in her death. Instead of looking back, he chose to focus on his future rather than dwell on the scars of the past. With Mr. Kwame's help, Junior got back his parents' fortune. He used the money to rebuild their legacy, helping orphans, building homes, and starting a foundation for those in need. Giving back filled his heart with purpose. One evening, he stood on the balcony of the family home, feeling the warm sunset like his parents' embrace. Despite his past pain, he had turned his suffering into strength. He built a home for Mr. Gombe and greatly honored Mr. Kumi. Mommy Jata's daughters too found healing with time as they stayed close to Junior, helping him in his work. Together, they rebuilt not just the family's wealth but its heart, fostering a legacy of forgiveness, love, and generosity. And so, a Junior story became a beacon of hope for the people of Pluty. It proved that even in the face of great darkness, light could shine through, and even the deepest wounds could heal with time, faith, and the courage to forgive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.